Here we are together again on the radio with an email from a listener named Greg. Greg writes in and says, Tom, you're right on the money for not dating single mothers. I am recently divorced and have 2 boys. One is 17, the other is 4 with my second wife. I'm done having kids and I don't want to raise anyone else's either. I love mine, but one's ready to go on his own and the other is ready for kindergarten. I recently started the internet thing and realized there are so many single moms that it's mind-boggling. They have no time for anything other than themselves and their kids. I noticed that making a date for them to actually do something is very difficult. They only have every other weekend, and when it's the weekend off, they have all kinds of excuses for having no time. They have time to talk on the phone at night and the email, but it's a waste of time. I am just going to concentrate on making money so I can get a hot Latina from Costa Rica or another Central American country. I'm done with selfish, gold-digging American women. Please, please do another show on why single mothers are really a black hole. There is a real good reason they are divorced. They are selfish. Wow. He's pissed off. Well, you know, I've told you boys this for a long time, that dating single mothers is fraught with problems. And if there are women who are not mothers available to you, why would you date a single mother? I mean, yes, single mothers can be easy if they have time to have sex with you. They, as the letter writer points out, frequently have a busy schedule, frequently have to squeeze you in at oddball times. The last time I dated a single mother with kids, like young kids, she would drop the kids off at school at 9:30 in the morning and then come to my house by 10 o'clock a.m. I'm just one of the weirdos who, you know, is home at 10 a.m. because I come here to do the show in the evening. So I'm home at 10 a.m. So she would come over there, back me up against the wall, we were off to the races. But as far as going away for the weekend or taking a vacation, forget it. Not happening. Many of them come to your house, do the dirty deed, and then they have to run back home to relieve the babysitter. Many of them can't find a babysitter. Some of them can't afford a babysitter. Back in the days when I would date single mothers, I actually had women who had the gall to say, oh, I could come over if you could pay my babysitter. If you could pay my babysitter. Sure, I'll pay your babysitter out of the money I was going to spend on dinner. So I hope you like a nice turkey sandwich. Because that's what you get. Can you believe that? Pay my babysitter, I can come over. I mean, like they're doing us some kind of a favor. Who needs that? And as I've said to you boys so many times, who needs to deal with another man's mistakes, with another man's leftovers? Who needs that? Ultimately, you will get involved somehow with those kids. She will bring them in front of your face in most cases. Not all, but most. And then ultimately, you'll be having little family outings where you will be paying for everything. You will take all the kids to a theme park for the day. You will take the kids to lunch or dinner. Suddenly, the movies you go to will not be the adult films you're used to. Suddenly, you'll be out, seeing Shrek the Third instead of the kinds of films that you're used to seeing. Suddenly, not only is her life built around her kids, now your life will be built around her kids. To me, the purpose of dating is to have sex. And secondarily, if you're one of those romantic morons out there, I would imagine that having a romantic evening, some candlelight, bottle of wine, whatever, might be part of your game plan. Well, forget that with children around. There's just not going to be a lot of that. Why, oh, why would you choose this? Never is it any more apparent if you've been thinking about dating single mothers than when you go on Craigslist or Match.com, one of these websites, and you read the personal ads from women with kids. Many of them include pictures of their kids in the profile. You're not dating their kids. You don't want to see what the kids look like. What does that have to do with anything? But guess what? They're sending you a message. If you pick me, this is what you're getting. You're getting this package, a package deal. And by the way, you are getting a package deal. And frankly, I wouldn't recommend that single mothers do it any other way. You know what? Your kids are important. They are a priority. You should treat them as a priority. But I don't want to be involved in raising your children, paying for your children, or spending time with your children. They're yours. Yours. Now, I know many of you date single mothers because they're perceived to be easy. And by the way, after spending so much time with their kids, so much time at school, so much time at soccer practice, so much time with the Teletubbies on in the background or whatever, many women are craving any kind of adult contact. And they will jump on you and ride you like a pony, if only because you are their escape from that for a few minutes. But if that condom slips, leaks, or breaks, you're a dead man. Now you'll be helping her pay for that lifestyle that she is living. Why would you want to be with somebody like that? Now, again, don't get me wrong. Don't waste your time calling here. Don't waste your breath calling here. Because I will tell you right now, if your children are your priority, fantastic. Kids need all the attention and love and support they can get. But that doesn't mean that I want to participate. Hillary Clinton may have said it takes a village to raise children, but I don't want to be in that village, okay? I don't want to be kicking in. I don't want to be helping. I don't want to be facilitating in any way. I don't want to have to be taking a back seat to some other man's children. I don't. Why would you? This is just plain common sense, and I just love when people get pissed off about it, but they do.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
I'd like to start off with telling you, you're the guy that gets me through my day, brother. Every day I listen to you, every single day. It's like I do it. This is my religion. I'm a Tom Leykis.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Thank you for tuning in. And another listener finds out the hard way about dating single mothers. Wanted me to talk about this again today, so I am. Alexis on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Alexis.
Okay, I can't say I'm a firm believer in everything that you talk about, but I definitely strongly disagree with your whole idea of passing women up for, past experiences, past mistakes. I mean, I think that how many women would pass you up for past mistakes and divorces?
But the thing is, it's perfectly okay. And by the way, I'm sure some do.
But I think that, don't you believe in love anymore? Is it all about sex?
It's not just about sex. It's also about money.
So it has nothing to do with love. And what about the people that...
Really, if you're smart, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Well, I am smart. I'm a college-educated 24-year-old. I'm married, and I have a 2-year-old son.
And what does that prove?
Makes good money. Well, it proves that, I understand that you always talk about generalizations, and you kind of have to make generalizations when you're speaking to a large audience. That makes perfect sense. But when you're trying to reach out to these guys, and they're passing the word on, and I just think you're sending the wrong message out there.
Why do you say that? The guys, as you hear, all say how happy they are when they follow the bouncing ball, when they do what I recommend. They're happy with it.
They're happy with it, but, isn't there something deeper, no?
No.
No.
No. And by the way, you say there's something deeper, but we all find out how much we are really loved when you get a divorce.
Well, yeah, divorce is another issue, but he also...
And when the other person takes a jackhammer to your head, then we find out how much they really love you.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that, and I think divorce is a messy, crazy, terrible thing, but at the same time, I think you're discouraging these guys from, you know, respecting women, and, I mean, I understand you respect women's vaginas and breasts and all that good stuff.
I do.
But at the same time, I think that, I don't know, I just think that these young guys are kind of missing out on the chance to really, you know, connect with someone on a deeper level.
Why do they need to do that?
Why do they need...
Yes, why do they need to do that?
Well, for centuries and centuries, men and women have formed monogamous relationships, whether or not they cheat and get divorced. But, I mean, it's just part of human nature to find someone that, you know...
Well, I think it's the exact opposite. I think we have defied human nature by pairing up and attempting to be monogamous. I think in reality we are all polygamists.
You don't think it has more to do with the fact of the downfall of society and all the negative things going on?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not, because 50 to 100 years ago, your great-grandparents or your grandparents, they got married and they stayed through bad relationships and people had affairs and nobody ever talked about them. And when women were being beaten, brutalized, and abused or emotionally abused, they stayed. And everybody says, oh, those were the good old days, back when people stayed together for 75 years. How many got the crap beaten out of them?
Well, yeah, I understand that did go on and it wasn't talked about. I think that it went on a lot less, and I think that...
I don't agree. I think it went on a lot more. That there were no domestic violence laws back then. If you gave your wife a good crack in the face, you really didn't suffer any consequences. And so people did it a lot more. Don't be confused about this.
No, I'm not confused. I just think that, I don't know, I mean, I found true love, and me and my husband, we have a lot of fun together. I mean, we have great sex, too. Don't get me wrong. We have a lot of great sex. But
well, that's wonderful. But you know what? Somebody wins the lottery every time. Every Saturday, somebody wins some money, right?
So you're saying I won the lottery, huh?
Well, but guess what? That's about as common as it is, somebody being that happy with your decision.
Yeah.
So why should I don't? By the way, I don't buy lottery tickets. I mean that literally and figuratively. Okay, but if I want to be happy financially, I go out and work. I go out and do things to make things happen in my life. And I certainly wouldn't encourage people to get married hoping they'll be one of the few who's happy.
And I totally agree with you on, like, the single moms posting pictures of their kids. Totally inappropriate. But at the same time, I mean, what if you find someone and you meet her and you like her and you find out she has a kid? I mean, just totally...
I'm out.
Or what?
I am out.
Wow.
I am out.
I just feel bad for the women out there who really do have something to offer that they're going to get passed over just because, you know, one of your listeners heard what you had to say and, you know, just... listen to it before they actually...
Well, again, I'll tell you what, if I met Angelina Jolie and she has all these kids with a nanny and enough money to pay for them, maybe I'd consider that. But the average woman is not Angelina Jolie or the now pregnant Salma Hayek, okay?
Yeah.
So why would I want to pay for another man's mistakes or live with another man's mistakes or look into the face of your ex-boyfriend?
Yeah, true. True. Well, I mean, like I said, you give me a lot of laughs on my way home from work, and a lot of times I do agree with what you have to say, but sometimes I'm just really against it. So today I just felt the need to call in and just tell you how I felt.
Well, I'm glad you did. But hang on a second, because we have somebody here who wants to talk to you.
Really?
We have somebody who has something to say. Let me get Anthony in here. Anthony, what did you want to say to Alexis?
Well, Tom, she was talking about how it happened infrequently that men used to beat their wives, and I wanted to ask her if she's familiar with the term rule of thumb.
Yes, I am familiar with the term.
Do you know where that term comes from?
Doesn't it have to do with the rule of thumb? I don't remember, but it does have to do with abuse. I know that much.
Yes, you were allowed to beat your wife with a stick that was no bigger than your thumb.
That's right.
So you have to listen to Tom because he's the man and he's right in the fact that we are basically just animals that have the ability to talk. And the whole idea of being an animal, well, we are, basically. We have the ability to talk and think. But essentially we're just animals, and animals aren't meant to be with just one person for the rest of their life. That is actually absolutely...
Tons of animals in the animal kingdom who are with one freaking other animal for the rest of their lives.
They're birds, not mammals. There are no mammals that do that.
Well, Well, I just think that it can happen, and I think to be positive and I think to have a happy and fulfilling life and to mean something and to have your life mean something and to make an impact on your children. I mean, I think it's important, and maybe that is just me, but I just think all these guys that are just trying to, have sex with these women and then DTB, I just think that's a wrong mentality to have in this society, in this already crumbling society. I mean, I just think it's completely contributing to it.
Well, I mean, I would take an example of someone like Mr. Leykis here, and I think his life is pretty fulfilling right now. And he's not in a monogamous relationship, as a matter of fact. And the other thing
that... He's also had 4 divorces.
I know that Tom was thinking of, and not only do we get beaten over the head with a jackhammer, but, our money gets taken, our homes get taken, and essentially we're the losers. So, I don't know.
I totally agree with you there about the money situation.
Because men and women aren't staying together as long as they used to.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree that they aren't, but I'm trying to find out, or I'm not even trying to find out, I'm just speculating that these type of broadcasts, these type of opinions out there getting through to the mass media, I mean, it's not helping. It's definitely not helping.
I mean, the awesome thing about what you just said is that people have a choice. They don't have to listen. I choose to listen because I love what the man has to say. But, that's the great thing about our country is that you don't have to listen. So people are obviously listening to him for a reason because he's making some pretty good points.
He's making some pretty good money out there off of you guys. He's having sex with a lot of hot chicks. I mean, what guy wouldn't want that? But he's always making money because people are listening to what he has to say.
If people were listening to him, he wouldn't be making any money. So, I mean, obviously he's getting through to people, and people keep tuning in.
That's true, but you know what? I've seen a lot of couples go from the ground up, and, the wife does help support. And, I mean, I've seen my father-in-law and mother-in-law, and she gets her knuckles dirty in his multi-million-dollar business every single day. So, I mean, there is something to be said about it. It does happen, and there are happy couples out there, and I just think that this show kind of, eliminates the possibility of finding a relationship. I mean, I just don't think it's...
I don't eliminate the possibility. I said on this program...
Much credit there. I don't think that you can really do for that. But, Tom, thank you so much for taking my call. Please blow me up, my brother.
All right, I'll blow you up. Here you go. Now, Alexis, I have not said it's not possible. I've said it's so unlikely. Why take that chance? Why get married, or why move in with somebody, or why get into a monogamous relationship and later on get burned like the majority of people do?
And I think that's horrible. And personally, I would never do that. If I was going to walk away from a relationship, I would walk away with my hands clean.
But you're not available, and you're not available, you see. And the vast majority of women who are available, this is what you face out there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying.
So is it a good idea of me to tell people, go ahead, throw caution to the wind, try it anyway. Odds are you'll fail, and she'll take everything you got, but you got to keep trying.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess you have a good point in that there are a lot of people out there who will take and take and take, but I don't know. I just think the whole, get out there and bang as many chicks as you can mentality is kind of played out. And
well, yeah, I mean, so played out to you because you're married, you're so happy, you got your nice husband and your kid. So now it's all played out. It's all played out to you because you're married and you think you're going to be married forever.
I've never been that way. I've never gone out and had...
Well, that's why you got married at 21 or whatever.
Is that why?
Yes, because you've never been like that. But,
yeah, I've never wanted to be like that.
But look around you. I mean, 11-year-old girls are giving oral sex in classrooms. I mean, it's a different world today.
Does that disgust you? Do you find that wrong?
I don't think that's good for 11-year-olds to be doing that, no. But they are, and that's the way it is.
And do you think it's from pressure from men or from boys who are learning from their dads and from you?
No.
Go out and get it whenever.
No, as a matter of fact, I happen to believe that you have more and more single mothers raising children, no dads around, and girls are looking for daddy. And they start by trying to please men, and they do that by giving men what they want, which is sex.
Yeah.
And maybe if moms stopped insisting on having kids and raising them by themselves, maybe this stuff would stop. This is what you get. This is the women wanted a world where who needs men? I'll just go get a sperm donor. Who needs men? This is what you get.
And you know what? I am not all about the feminist society either. I mean, I definitely believe in, the male and female roles. I don't think women should be going out and getting pregnant unless they're in, relationship that they plan on being in forever. I mean, I agree with you on so many of your points.
But you see, you and I are in the minority on that. Keith, what did you want to say to Alexis?
I wanted to say, good afternoon, Father.
Hi, sir.
I just want to say that maybe she's not an avid listener, because if you do give a disclaimer, first of all, say that.
I listen every day.
There's a disclaimer. He says that marriage is okay if you've achieved your goals in life first. And everything else after that is just, pump them and dump them. Because most of the time, most of the relationships I've been in is the women give up on me because I'm not sufficient enough with the money. So it's like Tom is just evening up the score, and I'm behind him 100,000%.
Believe it or not, there are hot girls out there that aren't only looking for money. I mean, yeah, money's nice, and money, if it will come eventually, and, the guy is hardworking and driven and has his own goals, of course, yeah, it's nice. But
there are, like Tom said, there are lottery winners, but you're not going to, base your life around, if I'm going to win the lotto, okay, then I can take care of my needs. No, you're going to go with what is the norm, and the norm is that most people, majority of the populace is not going to win the lottery. So you have to get your ass out there, and you have to work, and you have to do what you have to do to sustain your own self first.
Agreed.
So as far as pump them and dump them, that's just the way it goes, because the majority of women out there are looking for, well, what can this do for me? What kind of job does he have? What kind of car does he drive?
Well, I don't know where you're looking for your women.
And that stuff is starting out young.
I don't know where you're finding your women, but I don't know any women that are like that.
But, how many women do you know? I mean, the amount of women that you know in comparison to the population is so small that it doesn't even matter.
Keith, never forget, as I always say, your friends are a reflection of you. You tend to have people as your friends who are like you. They have your values, your morality. So the fact that all your friends feel the same way you do proves absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Well, it's not that they feel the same way I do. I mean, I have girls who are, likely to have sex whenever they want, with whoever they want, but what they're looking
to, there's an ulterior motive. There's something, this guy has a good job, or he's, this guy has a good background or something. So most of the times, 90% of the times, there's something underneath going on besides just
innately smart, beautiful, intelligent women are going to go after men who are driven, who are goal-oriented, who have good jobs, who are moving up in the world. And it's not because, they want to take. It's just because, like-minded people tend to flock together. And if you feel like you're going somewhere, you want to go somewhere, of course you're going to want to be around people that are also. What hot chick is going to say, I want a deadbeat guy who's not going anywhere? Of course they're not going to. Of course, but that just comes with the territory,
Well, I don't know. If it's. I thought it's all about love and relationship. If you have to fill out an application just to be with a woman.
It's not about that. It's not about that at all. It's not about filling out an application. I met my husband. We were both in college. We were married 2 years later, and he's in an up-and-coming multi-million-dollar company, that he kind of fell into. He didn't have the job when I met him. He was still a college student. So. It's just, you're right, maybe I am 1 in 100, but I just think the whole mentality of the pump 'em and dump 'em theory, I just think it's contributing to the downfall of our morals,
what do you think
the
about
younger people having sex, blah, blah, blah.
What do you think about the millions of women that, that money is a very big motivating factor as far as if a woman would even talk to another guy or not?
I think it's sad. I think it's really sad because that woman must really not have a lot going on upstairs that, she feels like she can contribute or she feels like all she has her hot body to show off and to get a lot of money with. It's like, what? Why? What's the point? If you can't have an intelligent conversation or even a conversation, if you don't have interest, then what is the point? Why would you just have
I think it is sad that women are doing that, but like Tom says, this world is geared towards women. You got a lot of feminine things out there that are geared towards women, and all Tom is even up to score for us. And and that's what I appreciate about him. About the whole situation. If possible, Tom, can you take me out Kobe style?
Of course I can.
This is about us. She's so special to me. Yeah, it beats in my heart. Yeah, the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
Tom Leykis.
Tom Leykis?
Leykis.
Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM.
Are the only women that you date sluts?
God, I hope so.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. And 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. We're talking this hour about an email I received from a listener. The subject line was, "You're right again." And here's a guy who's recently divorced. He has 2 kids by 2 different women. And he did some internet dating and started looking at single mothers and found out the hard way that it's really not the way to go. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Let's say hello here to Eric on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom. How you doing, bud?
Great.
Oh, boy. I'm a long-time listener, and I've never called in, but I had to call in and weigh on in this because if the boys listening out there are not convinced already, I have a story for you.
Okay.
I got married 3 years ago. And in my wedding party, the story's not about me, but in my wedding party, I had 3 of my buddies, 3 of them, who were married to single mothers, and one of them who had a kid with another lady and basically let go of a single mother. 3 of those 4 situations, 2 years later, they're all divorced. They are controlling, they are selfish, they are geared towards nothing but themselves and their kids. And it is just a bad situation. And they all said, right off the bat, "Oh, the sex is great. These girls are so much fun. They just go crazy." 6 months later, they're doing like you said, the amusement park thing. They're doing I'm taking everybody out to dinner and the movies and, calling them dad and driving them all over the place. And 2 years later, bud, the women they're crazy. They're all crazy.
And pretty soon you're paying all the expenses that the father of these children is not paying.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, it was one thing after, like I said, it got to be, they couldn't go out anymore. It was all, they just bought into daddy time and couldn't afford to go out and weren't allowed to go out. I love that word, allowed. Unbelievable. So, any of your listeners, if there's even a doubt in their minds that single mothers are not the way to go, maybe for a little bit to date or have a good time if you are with it enough to stop it there. But don't even consider getting married home.
Yeah, well, even then, one false move, one leak of the condom, and you're going to be the next sucker paying for all this.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Eric.
Well, thanks for talking to me. I'm a big-time Suns fan, so it's only fitting if you take me out Kobe style, bud.
Here you go.
This is about us. She's so special to me. Yeah, it beats in my heart. Yeah, the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Here comes Sean on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Tried to call in last time you had a single mom show. You guys didn't have time. But here's my question. Before I started listening to you, I was a huge pussy, putting vagina on a pedestal. Since I've been listening to you, I follow 101 to the T, and I get more ass in the toilet seat.
Right.
Sounds cliche, but guys, listen to Tom. It works out there. My one question for you is, if you know you can get out, get in, get out, and get it done, is it okay to nail single moms?
But you don't, because if the condom leaks, you're the next sucker paying for that.
Well, I am an exception to the rule is where I'm snipped.
All right.
So that's not an issue. But I need you to sign off on it before I'll even...
Well, put it this way.
I do not know more than the professor.
It's safe if you have a 0 sperm count and you've confirmed it.
Absolutely 0.
It's certainly safe, but don't think about having a relationship. And keep in mind, you've got to have other plate spinning. Don't ever put all your eggs in that single mother basket, because that woman will not be available when you want her, when you need her, when you need to get laid. They make lousy booty calls, because when you need it, they're frequently busy or can't find a babysitter. Blah, blah, blah.
But if I know I could just get in, get out, and be done with it, I'm a total a-hole. I'm a 101.
Well, if you're a total a-hole, here's the deal. If you're a total a-hole, never tell them you've had a vasectomy.
Oh, never.
Never tell them.
My doctor, and now you are the only ones that know.
Don't tell them. Because then you turn it around and all these bitches who want to trap you.
Right.
But you better be sure you've got a 0 sperm count, pal.
Oh, it's been tested 3 times.
All right. Just make it sure.
So you're signing off on this. It's okay.
Under that specific, very narrow exception with those provisos, no relationship, no expectations, never make her the only woman you're dating. If you can get an occasional booty call out of somebody who happens to be a single mother, and you have no risk of impregnating her or giving her any money or spending any time with her children, with all of those provisos, you can go for it. But it's rarely that specific.
Awesome. Can you Lace Peterson style and then blow me up?
Yes, of course I can.
Thanks, Tom.
Here you go.
Amber. Hey. Amber. Amber, miss you.
1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Kimberly on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I just called in today to give you the story of my mother, who was a single parent for 8 years before she met my stepfather. And it was the worst. I mean, her raising us was the worst childhood I've ever had. Needless to say, when she met my stepdad, everything changed. Like, he took over and he raised us. And actually, I respect him more than I do my mother. And I just wanted to let you know, when my son's of age, I will let him listen to your show. Once he's 14, I'm going to give him advice and actually put your radio station on and let him listen to you. Because everything you say about women is true.
And he needs to know that stuff.
Yes, he does.
Very nice. Very nice.
I love your show, and I listen to you every day. And I've been listening to you for 5 years, and I just wanted to let you know.
Sounds good to me, Kimberly. Thank you for the call. Myra on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. Myra? Eric on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
What up, Tom?
Not much, Eric.
I have my own personal experience. I was married for a while. I have, me and my ex-wife had children, and it was nice for a couple of years, but it spiraled downhill real quick as usual. And we have joint custody. I still get to see my kids every day, but now some other poor sucker's got to deal with her baggage, and I feel sorry for him because he's actually a really good guy. And I just lucked out because I don't have to deal with their crap anymore, and I get to lead my life as a single guy and bring women home when there's no kids around.
Now, are you still on the hook for child support?
No, we don't have any child support. There's no alimony. There's nothing like that. It's a very amicable breakup, and we share the kids evenly. We have flexible schedules, and I have my life back. It's like the lottery.
Wow. Look at you.
I won the lottery because I got my kids, and I don't have to deal with it anymore.
And there's some poor sucker who has to deal with the Chuck E. Cheese visits.
Oh, yeah, that Chuck E. Cheese, literally, 3 weeks ago, Chuck E. Cheese, 9 kids, everything.
The SeaWorld visits.
Oh, yeah, the movies, the dinners at Fridays. I mean, that's good and all, and but that's not for me. Come on.
Hey, I completely understand.
So I lucked out. I get my kids. They get to be a great dad. They get to be my buddies and my sons at the same time. And I don't have to deal with the crap that comes with the marriage.
Love that.
Yeah, your show rocks, man. I just dumped Stern for you, and you guys kick butt. I love your show.
Thank you, Eric.
Blow me up.
Here you go, baby. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Louise on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Pretty much once a week and 3:30 in the morning. He gets what he wants. I get what I want.
Yeah.
So there are exceptions to the...
Well, you're not an exception.
Rule.
No, but it's not an exception to the rule because he has to come over at 3:30 in the morning. If 3:30 in the morning happens to be convenient for him, that's great. But I'll tell you what, 3:30 in the morning is not convenient for me. And if I'm dating somebody, I'll tell you what, prime time is prime time.
Well, that kind of works for both of us, 3:30 in the morning, because, we both work early, so...
Well,
we're
already
up.
Yeah,
so.
well, you just lucked out that the two schedules mesh. But in most cases, let's say you weren't seeing him anymore. How many guys want to see somebody at 3:30 a.m.?
That is true. And, I told him, not to keep me as your only girl, keep others around, keep your options open.
You didn't have to tell him that.
Oh, because I know he already is.
Guaranteed.
So.
And how often does he come over, Louise?
Once a week.
Once a week. So, yeah, you are guaranteed he's getting it elsewhere.
Well, hey, he knows he can get it more, but, sometimes it doesn't always work out for him.
Exactly. All right, Louise.
Love you, Tom.
Thank you for the call. 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Derek on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. Derek. This is Brandon on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How you doing?
Great.
Awesome. Hey, I'm just looking for some advice. My situation is I'm seeing a single mom, and she's a little older than me, and happens to live right upstairs from me in my own apartment complex. So we kind of just got into mingling and having sex and sex only. Now, I'm wondering do you think she's going to look for more? Because she knows I'm seeing other women, and I told her that straight out, and she knows my lifestyle. She knows I'm young, I'm partying, and she's just looking for sex. So is there anything I should worry about besides...
Yeah, the condom leaking.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, that's a serious problem.
Well... Yeah, condoms pretty for sure, unless,
No, well, guess what? They do slip a little bit. They do occasionally crack or leak. They do.
They do.
They are much less effective than the pill. What is she using?
Birth control.
You mean a pill?
Yes.
And you are using condoms, I hope?
Yes.
100% of the time?
Yep.
Oh.
And it does get a little crazy, so if it does ever happen, a leak, break, right away to the doctor's office to take care of it.
Well, that's what you say.
Yeah.
Does she say that? You have no idea.
She said the same thing.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens if it happens. God, you can't find any women who don't have children?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I'm seeing several women right now.
But why do you include somebody who has that risk hanging over her?
Because it's so convenient. I mean, one of the girls that you have don't come around, you got right upstairs.
Yeah, by the same token, she's always hovering when you bring other chicks over.
Yep, she sees it.
And you don't think that'll eventually be a problem, huh?
No, because I make it clear that if it is a problem, that, she needs to move on. And
yeah, well, you can make it clear all you want, but if she doesn't want to see it that way, then you're going to have to live with her in the same complex and you can't get rid of her. Our email address is my name. It's tom@blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Bring other chicks over?
Yep, she sees it.
And you don't think that'll eventually be a problem, huh?
No, because I make it clear that if it is a problem, that, she needs to move on. And
yeah, well, you can make it clear all you want, but if she doesn't want to see it that way, then you're going to have to live with her in the same complex and you can't get rid of her. Our email address is my name. It's tom@blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.